guys, it's Lynnea for a video with ThermOWeb, and today we are collaborating with Joy Clair. This is a new to me company, but that is what I love about ThermOWeb. They collaborate with so many companies, and I just love it when I get to work with a company that I haven't used their stamps before. So I just love the stamp sets that I'm going to be using today, the lion and the lamb and the wood background. So let's get started. I'm going to be using a technique that I'm sure is not new, but it is the first time that I am doing it. So I'm starting off with a piece of cardstock here, covering it with an iCraft 6x6 Easy Cut adhesive sheet. If you've watched my videos in the past, this is something that I have done many times. In the beginning of this video, I showed you the sweet mango foil, but I actually switched it out for the dazzling orange foil. And this is Gina K Designs for ThermOWeb foils. And I love that there's the larger chunks of glitter. That is the main reason I switched over to this dazzling orange. So I have the Easy Cut adhesive, and I removed the backing so that my whole cardstock piece has adhesive covering it. And I'm just going to lay the foil over it and use my fingers to rub that foil on it. You don't want to use a bone folder because you might mark your foils. I always, if I use a bone folder, get little marks in my foil. So I'm just going to use my fingers to make sure that that foil is really pressed into the Easy Cut adhesive before pulling off the release sheet. So now here is the new to me technique. I'm going to be doing some heat embossing on the foil. So I'm just going to stamp and heat emboss just like I would if I was stamping on regular paper. I used my little anti-static pouch, and then I have the two lion heads from the Lion and the Lamb Joy Clair stamp set. And I am going to be making a gatefold card. I love that this lion head image is split into two. And I believe that it's done that way for Bible journaling. But it really, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this would make a great gatefold card. So here I am, I added some white embossing powder. I'm going to heat it up. And I didn't have any problems embossing the white powder on the right-hand side. On the left, I left my heat gun in one place for too long, so I kind of activated the adhesive underneath, and I got like a little blip in my image, but in the end, you can't really tell, so I just went with it. I had no real problems heat embossing this image. You can see the lines are crisp, but you have that foil backing. So awesome. So all I'm going to do is just use my scissors and cut off those images. So here's the base for my gatefold card. I had a piece of cardstock that was 8.5 inches long and 5.5 inches tall, so like a regular card base, but instead of scoring it down the middle, I scored it at 2 1/8 inches from each side, and then folded the flaps in to meet each other in the middle. So I'm going to be stamping the wood background stamp from Joy Clair, and it is not quite as wide as my card base, so I'm just going to hold my card base in place with some purple tape, and then I will center up that stamp on the front of my card and stamp it with some brown ink. Once I had the front of my card stamped, I opened up the flaps, and I also stamped the same on the inside. So now you can see here I have a continuous pattern on the outside, and then you can open it and it's on the inside as well. And that is where I stamped my sentiment because I didn't want it to interfere. I really wanted the focus to be on this embossing on the foil. So I added some iCraft 3D foam squares to the backs of the lion heads, and then I'm also adding some iCraft Ultra Bond liquid adhesive. I always do this when I'm using foam squares. I like the dimension of the foam, but I like the assurance that the Ultra Bond liquid adhesive gives me. I know that if I use that glue, these little images are not going anywhere. So I'm just going to line up that hard edge of the lion head with the corner of my card. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side, and you'll see they meet in the middle, form one cohesive image, but you can open up the card through the middle. It's just so awesome, and I love the foil. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial. See you next time. Bye!